I see you, Ella. Thank you, friend. Thank you. Hey, it's my privilege to be here. Everyone keeps saying privilege. It's a privilege here. It's a privilege there. Why? Because it is a privilege to talk to you guys. And I want to take the time today to share something I'm very passionate about, and that's our management opportunity. So I want to give you 10 seconds to gear up your notes, 10 seconds to write down my opportunity, not management opportunity, but my opportunity. And I want to kick off by just sharing with you here in the next 25 minutes or so. I really want to talk to you about how you can earn your spot to Leadership Academy. I want to talk to you about how you can make this cut through college opportunity happen for you. I want to give you the details, and the objective of my message, like what you should leave with today, is a better understanding of how our company's platform for leadership and management development can help you in your future, the way that it did for me and the way that Miranda had just mentioned from my personal experience. And I want to really start off by just explaining Leadership Academy. There's going to be a video that goes around from your division managers, which will reiterate a lot of the things that I'm saying. But take it from me first, that Leadership Academy is not unique to Vector Marketing, and it is certainly not unique to the Eastern region. In fact, I want to share with you, you may not know this, but all major organizations have a Leadership Academy. In fact, I pulled up here, Harvard Business School online has a Leadership Academy. You need to apply after having already been accepted to Harvard Business School, spending whatever amount of thousands of dollars you do for tuition, and then you have to apply, and then you pay more tuition to get into that. However, you come out an elite business person, okay? I also want you to know that if you go to all the major companies, and I thought of what are the biggest names in education and in major mega companies, and I thought of the ones that all of you can think of. I could have probably put Coca-Cola up here, but if you go to Amazon, Nike, Apple, or McDonald's, they will tell you their priorities to develop for the future: management and leadership development. So in a nutshell, and if you're taking notes, Leadership Academy is Cutco, is Vector's version of management and leadership development. But here's what makes us so unique. What makes us so unique are the people on this Zoom. What makes us unique are the 709 people participating today. Because as Scott Dennis said earlier, we are the largest, most respected college student recruiting company. We are responsible for working with more 17 to 25-year-olds than any other platform, any other organization in North America. And I would argue the world. So what does that make our Leadership Academy? Ready? One of a kind. And that's the whole premise of what I want to talk to you about today. So ready? This is how I operate. So if we were live at a conference in Atlanta or in Puerto Rico or anywhere, I would be on stage right now, probably sweating through my suit. And I would tell you, hey, every time you get a light bulb, every time something hits you, every time, wow, that magic moment, wow, that tip, wow, I could see myself, wow, I didn't know that. Ready? I can see a good portion of your faces. Give me a light bulb, right? Let's practice, ready? Let's practice. Let's say I say something and it just hits you differently. Go ahead, give me a light bulb like this, right? And we can't see you or we can't hear you physically, audio, but if you get a light bulb, ready? Get me going, get me excited, because the more you get me excited, the more I'm gonna deliver a clear message of how you can change, and I literally mean this, the trajectory of your life through our Leadership Academy program, okay? So first of all, let's talk about why Leadership Academy. We have Leadership Academy because they're frightening articles like this, and I use the word frightening very intentionally. The frightening article from around 2011. Jeff, man, that's like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. You're outdated. No, my friends. This is from 2011, during one of the worst job markets in the history of America for college students. Sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? This was 2011, and ready? This article talks about 8 months to find a job out of college. It talks about only 2 out of 5 people getting a job out of college. It talks about the average salary for a graduate is $27,000, and it talks about $20,000 average debt plus for graduating college students. This is 2011. Fast forward to quarantine pandemic 2020, 2021 through the next 3 years. It's frightening because this article is elementary school compared to how hard it is right now to find a job. That's why we have Leadership Academy. So maybe the light bulb right now is, wow, I better get something different. I better do something now to make moves for the next 3 to 5 years. Is that a light bulb for some of you? I hope so. We have Leadership Academy because in 2013, I'll fast forward a little bit later. In 2013, the Wall Street Journal specifically pulled our company out of every possible company in the nation to say that young people need entrepreneurial skills, and the company that's making that move is Vector Marketing. They specifically talk about Leadership Academy, the branch manager internship, the opportunity to advance, and how people at a young age are accelerating their career. And you can see here, accelerating, they're shortening the learning process on their way. Maybe that's a light bulb for you. How can you shorten the learning process? I got a couple light bulbs. Thank you. We have Leadership Academy because, by the way, ironically enough, our keynote speaker today, Mr. John Vroman, who is a nationwide acclaimed public speaker for the College Student Network, a worldwide bestseller, and, ready, Cutco alumni, vector-trained rep, district manager, and national sales promotion manager. He's also the CEO and founder of the Front Row Factor Foundation, a nonprofit that helps put people from terminally ill situations into the front row of their favorite events as a charity. How awesome is that? And he has this unbelievable interview with Jeff Hoffman, founder of Priceline.com. And in this article, they interview Jeff and ask him, what are the keys to success of this unbelievable powerhouse company that you have? And he said two things. Learn how to solve problems and learn how to partner up. And this is ironic how Mr. Scott Dennis mentioned both of those things in his opening comments. He said it in a different way, didn't he? He said, do hard stuff, right? I imagine him hitting the baseball as hard as he can right to his son to try and stop that ball and throw it to first base. I imagine his daughter crying, okay, as she learns the piano piece and can't get through it. And she says, honey, you're going to learn the hard piece. It's good for you. So solve problems. But the second part is partner up. And, this is one of my favorite slides of all Leadership Academy. If you're privileged and honored to get in, you'll see the slide left to right, back and forth, up and down from September all the way through the summer. And what it really represents is that who you pay attention and take advice from, the left circle, who you decide to be around, your peers, the middle circle, and the people that you choose to be a leader for, the right circle, are some of the most important decisions of your life. And what's great about Leadership Academy, we have Leadership Academy, so we can put you in a position to have outstanding circle of influences, to have outstanding, motivated young people like the crew here you see from 2017 in our Leadership Academy, which, by the way, this crew has now 3 years later turned into the #1 organization in Vector for this week, for the last couple of months, and moving towards unbelievable things. Small, humble beginnings, circle of influence. How exciting is it for us to put young professionals, like-minded people who want to move their business, their life, their skills forward? Maybe that's a light bulb for you. That's why we have Leadership Academy. You want to know why we really have Leadership Academy? Is because now more than ever, students are smarter than ever. And maybe not book smart for some people. Maybe not the degree smart. You know what? Maybe not even the acclaimed school smart. But I promise you, they're smarter. And you know why they're smarter? Because they're able to get information faster. And you know what they're able to do when you guys get information faster? Yeah, you can do more research. And you know what you can do when you can do more research? You can put yourself ahead. And if you look at every article that you can find on jobs and markets and people trying to get a job out of college for your age, whether it's the USA Today, Fast Company, okay, the Wall Street Journal, again, 9 years later, okay, the common theme is skills over degree. Skills over degree. You want to create more options? Get skills. The future of job work or skills. So if there was any shot, I would want you to screenshot right now. It's this picture right here. If you choose not to move with Cutco moving forward, and I hope that you find something that really can propel you, get these skills. Learn how to create, develop, master, and augment, right? It means to make bigger, make better your people, your problem solving, your oral communication, your leadership, and of course your written communication skills. Is that a light bulb for some people? Okay. I have to tell you, as a division manager, this is my Jordan year and my Kobe summer. This is my Jordan year, 23 for you non-athletic and just people who have no idea what the sense of reality is. And 24, rest in peace, Kobe. This is my 24th summer. Okay? And I can just tell you, when you get past a decade, like Scott, like Trey, like Brian, like the legend Larry Manley, right? Just to name a few. At some point, you look back and say, well, why do you do what you do? I'm telling you, it's because we work with the future of America. We have Leadership Academy, and our 7 division managers run an exemplary Leadership Academy because we really want to serve the future, because we believe that the future doctors and lawyers and CEOs and nurses, nurse practitioners, physical therapists, athletic trainers, self-business owners are going to come from our Leadership Academy. So of anything I get you today, of all the light bulbs, get yourself some skills, get you some. And I shared this with one of our managers the other day, and I said, look, if you really want to be successful, I think these are the 4 things right now. And this is why we have this platform for everyone available to you here, well, your Cutco opportunity. Get more life education, get more involved, get more practical skills, and get more energy. And I can tell you, the applicant, the student, the graduate, the school's not for me, but I'm ready to take on the real world individual that has these 4 in their pocket, sky's the limit, everybody. Sky's the limit. Maybe that's a light bulb for some of you. And you know what? I want to tell you, I can tell you this from someone who graduated from college, and I'm very proud of my GPA. I'm very proud of going to the University of Maryland College Park, okay? Okay, the other U, if you're up in the Mid-Atlantic. But I want to tell you that I can, with full confidence, that a good portion of what I know now, the majority of my real life applicable skills, the skills that I think really help me create the career that I have, very few of the skills that I learned while I was in college. I learned a lot of great things. I learned a lot of great things within my pre-med major, and I learned a few things about life. And I will tell you that those of you that are accepted into a leadership academy can expect some tremendous lessons of life to help, again, push you in your pursuit of becoming a 5-star graduate. In a nutshell, there are 3 types of lessons you'll learn if you're accepted into Leadership Academy. There are the personal lessons, the professional lessons, and of course, money does make the world go around from a financial standpoint, right, and understanding standpoint, the financial lessons. And, you know, someone once asked me, Jeff, you know, can you summarize exactly what you guys teach in Leadership Academy? And I said, yeah, it's easy. It's anything and everything someone who would want to be successful would need to have in their toolkit. How to manage money, how to manage time, how to manage energy, how to manage other people, and how to manage yourself. Those are the big 5 for us. And what I'm hoping I've done so far, just very quickly here in the short moment that I have, is I hope I've created not just a light bulb of, oh, I need that skill, but I hope I gave you the light bulb moment. You know what the light bulb moment is? The light bulb moment that I got in 1997, you feel that? 1997, is that I could do Cutco through college. And Cutco through college means whether you know exactly what type of doctor and specific surgeon you want to be, cardiothoracic surgery, right, Jonathan Castell? Or you're all the way on the opposite end. You have no idea what you want to do. You're still trying to figure things out, or somewhere in between. You'll use Cutco for the next 2 to 5 years to gain the skills you want to gain, to build the resume you want to build, to develop the confidence you need, and of course, the resume. And finally, the financial aptitude, the skills with money and savings to be successful in the future. Now, certainly I don't have time to go through all of this, but our company sponsors a podcast, and I'm certainly not a podcast superstar like several people here. That's not my thing. And but I can tell you what my thing is Cutco through college. So if you get a chance and you're interested in hearing more details about, you know, people that do it all the way through college, what are some experiences? How does it help the resume? Maybe a 27-minute version of this so you get more information. Feel free to go to changinglivespodcast.com, look up Cutco through college, and you can see here we're highlighting 2 of our top branch managers from our region last year, Mason on the left and Mila. I highly encourage you to check it out because, ready, this next slide, this podcast will really help you, and anything I covered so far can help you really put you in a position to create a collegiate track with us. So there are 2 versions, right? If you are in a situation where you're just starting, you've got a couple years in college while you're working with us, this is a typical track where someone will earn their spot into TLA, let's say this summer, get into TLA, and at the top of the TLA class, our branch managers will earn a spot to run the internship. And then the next summer, they'll come back, like Scott said, and run it again, or mentor under one of our Cutco sales professionals. And then at the end of their collegiate career, they'll either take the recruiting opportunity to the next level and become a district manager. And I'll talk about that, and Scott talked about that. Become a Cutco sales professional with us, creating options, or they become a 5-star graduate. And someone once said, well, Jeff, you know, I don't want to be with a knife company after college. And neither did I. But, you know, 2 things stick out to me. Number 1, I always wanted to have options, right? Does anyone like options? Right? Even if you're not going to take them, I want to know. And number 2, if I'm really a 5-star graduate, if my resume is really that good, if med schools and business schools and law schools really want me because of my skills, my financial aptitude, my confidence, my resume, well, if I'm that good of a 5-star graduate in the world, I'm also a 5-star graduate here in the Cutco world. And that's why a lot of people are really intrigued or excited about the postgraduate opportunities that Mr. Dennis talked about. If you are not in school, or maybe you're on the latter half or latter portion of your collegiate career, it's pretty much the same track, except we have accelerated opportunities to become a full-time district manager or a Cutco sales professional within 1 year. Bottom line, we want you to become a 5-star graduate. And just like a 5-star athlete, what that means is when you graduate, you're getting all the job offers you want. You're not frantically looking for interviews around the world for people to hire you. You're getting recruited by people in your major. You're getting recruited by the top schools and the top postgraduate opportunities because of your Cutco resume and Cutco experience. And I saw this years ago on a Facebook post, and I apologize for not knowing the source, but I think it really hits home for me and why I share this every week at a sales leadership meeting, and why I think those of you that are smart business people or soon to be smart business people will really think about Leadership Academy and how it ties in for you. Because in our society, 6-figure income plus is considered a really solid or really successful income, right? When someone says, oh, I'm making 6 figures, it's probably a doctor, a lawyer, a successful businesswoman, businessman. And you know what? The traditional track is time, decades, 10, 20, 30, 40 years to get there. And what's better, that, the traditional track, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, or working 2 to 3 years really hard to gain skills, develop resume skills, confidence, so that you can become more marketable and make that income sooner and be successful sooner. Maybe that's a light bulb for some of you, because the things we do now will impact later. So I want to take a few moments just to share. You've heard a lot about running a branch office. Mr. Dennis talked about, a student who gets a chance to run their own organization. Well, a lot of people will ask, well, how did you get started as a branch? And some of you, give me a thumbs up if you're familiar with the term startup. Hello, Instagram, right? How about franchise? Hello, McDonald's. Hello, 7-Eleven. Okay, well, a startup, here's what happens. The person is responsible for getting funding, major funding from outside sources, and they have to figure the business out. High risk, okay? But the reward is big. A franchise, like McDonald's, well, the program's already handed over to you. The program's already set, but the person has to put in several thousands of dollars, sometimes $500,000 up to $1 million plus in loans taken out to fund that business, and the McDonald's in this case will give them the franchise. What's great about the vector branch model is that we give the programs like the franchise, but we also provide startup financially. Now, the branch managers are able to put in their own money to help fund personal expenses, but it's just an awesome, low risk, but ready, here's the deal, real business experience. So what does a branch manager do? Ready? In a nutshell, they recruit, they train, they develop, they run sales, they develop sales, they develop future leaders, and of course, develop leaders within the sales organization. They're running a legitimate business. And back in 1999, I want to share with you, it's funny. Back in 1999, I ran a branch office in Howard County, Maryland. And funny, one of our branch managers, Alejandra Carrasco from Humacao, she's currently #1 in the nation and competing for the Silver Cup. And her arch nemesis right now is running it out of Howard County, where I ran a branch office. And ready? You guys ready for incriminating photos? Here we go. Here's mine. Look at that on the left. So in 1999, there's our president and CEO, Al DiLeonardo. I ran a Cutco branch office in Howard County, Maryland. I loved it. And when people say, what are the top 3 words that come to mind when you thought about your branch opportunity? #1 at the top, ready? You would not think, it's fun. Running a business was fun. Being able to be the boss and be in charge of people and help people was fun. Motivating people who are only 1 or 2 years younger than me to get up early and to be successful for the push, that was fun. Team night out, of course, no quarantine back then, that was fun. Running team meetings, that was fun. #2, the experience and the personal growth. I was able to really, really set myself apart. And what Miranda didn't mention to you is that on those 15 job interviews, when I graduated, I applied to 2 business schools, the 2 business schools, grad schools, grad programs, medical schools, and about 7 sales jobs. All 15 gave me the yes. All 15 gave me a job. Only 2 asked me my major, and only 3 asked me my GPA. But all 15 asked me about my Cutco through college experience. Specifically, why did you run a branch? How did that go? And why did you do that for your future? And I said, easy. Well, everyone else is going to be applying for med school is going to have science, lab work, internships. That's the big key word. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be in a position where my interview forced you to ask me about something different. And in the future, I don't want to be a doctor for a hospital. I want to run my own practice. So I wanted the business skills. And I know most med schools don't offer business skill training. And I can tell you that answer as a 22-year-old got everyone's attention. Go branch. And I want to share a few lessons real quick before I wrap up. What did I learn from being a branch? #1, there's a difference between running a business in theory and running a real business where money's involved. There's a difference. The ability to graduate and say that I ran a real business. Number two, resume relevance, not resume experience. He or she that has the largest resume or can put names of fancy companies and colleges is not the one that gets the jobs. It's the one that can put relevant skills that are applicable. I talked about personal growth and the type of person I felt like I was from the moment I started my branch in April and the person I was when I walked into my senior year at campus at University of Maryland. The personal growth, the confidence, the ability that I had. Future options. I think it's self-explanatory when you're offered 15 job opportunities out of 15 applications. It doesn't include the 5 or 6 that I didn't even want to apply to because I got to the point, and I say this humbly, and many of our managers now know this, there were just too many people that wanted me to apply that I didn't have time to apply everywhere else. So I just kept it to 15. And of course, impact and fun. So maybe that's a light bulb. Write down a few light bulbs for you now about, okay, how does Cutco through college maybe tie in for me? How could I tie this in for my future? What have I been lacking? What focus have I not had that I really need right now? Take 2 seconds. And as you do that, I want to highlight and profile just everyone that has been running a branch for the Eastern region. We currently have the #1 branch class in the entire country. That means not just production, okay? Not just development, but every aspect of the business. No one is producing a higher level of branch managers in the Eastern region. For you athletes out there, we are Branch U. We are Branch Manager University. If you want to branch at a high level, not just do it to do it, but to compete at a high level, you branch in the Eastern region. And I just wanted to take 5 individuals. And the reason I picked these 5 is because I was able to work along with Mr. Andrew Evans aside with these 5 branches and develop these 5 individuals who we're very close to. And you know what? The one thing I want you to think about with branch is it doesn't matter what your major is. Doesn't matter your background. Doesn't matter if you're English speaking or habla español, clearly Puerto Rico, right? It doesn't matter whether you're all buttoned up and know exactly what you want to do or you're a hot mess and still trying to figure things out. Doesn't matter if you're a college dropout, high school dropout, or graduating from Harvard or Yale. The branch manager opportunity has no boundaries. The only boundaries are the ones that you push, right? Mr. Jonathan Castell wants to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. He's been working with us through high school, right? Ever since his senior year, working really hard to develop his skills so that he can run his own practice. Out of Doral, Florida, one of our branch manager champions today. Christina Fernandez, our branch champion, has done this now a 2nd time. And her parents run a very successful business in Puerto Rico with car dealerships. And she's wanting to put herself in a position where she's not just given a business because her parents own it, but she wants to earn the business and be a great, educated, young female business owner. This is her 2nd time doing it. And what's so interesting is that she did it not twice because she wanted to push the envelope with competition. She wanted to do it twice to make it hard for herself 2 years in a row. And boy, did she. And by the way, #1 for the push for the branch. And she's increased her sales almost $150,000 to $200,000+. Miss Marley Lewin goes to school up in the Northeast. Ready? How's this for a not sales major? Marine biology. Marine biology major has nothing to do with sales or business, but you know what? She's looking to develop her skills as she creates her future. Mr. Mason Linker out of Florida State, going a 2nd time for a branch opportunity, looking to develop his personal and business and professional skills. And our current #1 branch manager in the nation, Alejandra Carrasco, and it's interesting, as an assistant manager, right? She wasn't even sure what she wanted to do. She goes to school in New York City, Fordham University, and was really just trying to get experience because she really wanted to fill in the gaps. So when I think of diversity, I think of all the different things that can happen. Our branch opportunity knows no boundaries other than the boundaries you choose to push. So I hope you're able to create some light bulbs. Do we have any light bulbs today? Right? I hope maybe the light bulb is, you know what, I really need branch. Maybe the light bulb was, I probably should entertain it. Maybe the light bulb is, I wasn't thinking about TLA, but I better get on TLA. Regardless of what your light bulb is, make sure you share it with your manager. So take 10 seconds before I turn things over to Mr. Andrew Evans, and I want you to write down the #1 light bulb that you need to share with your manager after this. And I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Andrew Evans in 30 seconds to transition us into our questionnaire form. Take 10 seconds, additional 10 seconds. What's the top light bulb that you can share with your managers that can help support you? Okay, with that being said, Mr. Andrew Evans.